Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday night. It's a little after 7 o'clock p.m. Central, and this is Keto Confab. This is a group to help support people who are trying to live the keto lifestyle and according to the teachings of Dr. Boz. And anyone is welcome here, and we want to be able to answer your questions and praise you when you've done well and hold you up when you haven't. And so this week, I have had a good week, keto wise, but I have had a little blood pressure issue, and I don't know why, because I haven't been cheating. Um, and I've been doing my walking with the dog and everything. Um, but I haven't figured it out yet, but I will. And there was a find I made on YouTube this week, and I thought about you, Patricia, in particular. Um, I know we're all worried about our minds, and Alzheimer's and being clear for our jobs and what we have to do. And a number of years ago, a friend of mine that does therapy like I do gifted me a set of CDs called the Wholetones. And these are CDs that are sound music to certain hertz on the scale of frequency. And these hertz are known to help heal. And I haven't used them a lot just because I forget. And I have them over in my office. I have used the music for when I'm seeing clients. But this week I was reminded of them because I found some YouTube videos of the sound that will play for 6 or 12 hours. And you just turn it on and you go to sleep, because you're supposed to listen to these while you're very, very relaxed or sleeping, and they heal. And there's a whole there one of the hertzes is for healing the brain from inflammation and damage and everything. And so there's also another one of the hertzes that is about repairing DNA that has been damaged, and another hertz that is about whole body healing. So I think tonight I'll link the YouTube videos in the description of this recording so that you can check them out. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything since it's on YouTube, and all you have to do is play it while you're sleeping, so it doesn't take any time. I was playing it one night when I was up late, um, trying to complete some stuff that I needed to. And about an hour into playing it, while I was doing work and everything, I started to feel some shifts and stuff in the way I felt. I mean, it was a good thing. It wasn't like, oh my goodness, it gave me the worst headache or anything like that. I was playing the whole body healing. Um, I will play relaxation music, or like music for reading or whatever, sometimes when I'm concentrating on something or trying to write an email. None of it has uh, words to it or anything. It just helps me not feel as stressed when I'm working on stuff. And but then I saw that the Wholetones were on YouTube, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. Now, when I got my set of Wholetones, it comes with a book, and I I was reading this book, and um, it talks about how frequencies can change tissue and everything, and how the people who created the Wholetones, they're Christians, and they believe that frequencies were given to us, by God to help us heal ourselves and to connect with God. And I read this book years ago when I was given this as a gift, but I was like, oh, I had forgotten all that. But anyway, it's just an interesting thing. And if you want to check it out, great. If you don't want to check it out, that's okay. So how was everyone else's week? And do we have any questions from anyone? Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say I'm really pretty boring again this week. The only thing I would say is that I have been intrigued by the Dr. Boz Brains course, and I'm seriously considering signing up. I have three different groups that I go to are offering the Brains course now, in addition to Dr. Boz herself. I think her window just shut down the other day. And I think that's for the full course, which is what, $2,500 minus $300. So I think it's $2,200, which is pretty steep for me. And I have to say that, I have listened to so many of her Sunday night programs, and since then, her Tuesday night programs, that I'm sort of afraid that she repeats a lot of the stuff that, about sleep and BDNF and all that stuff. I think she repeats a lot of the stuff that you already got. And, maybe some of the stories. Like I love her mother. She's a sweetheart, and I love David. But boy, I think I've heard enough stories of both of them now to last me a while.
As I recall.
So anyway, I want to just finish this. So I came upon someone who was talking about Dr. Joe Dispenza. And Joe Dispenza, he's one of these sort of new age guys that does these week-long seminars. And he tries to get you to free up your mind and get the neurons snipping and snapping all along. And so he's written a book called, or he's written multiple books, but there's a book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And I happened to hear someone mention the book. So I went and I said, well, gee, let's see if I can find that book. And I found a PDF version of it. And I run a piece of free software on my Windows machine against a PDF, and I can get the thing to read it out loud to me. So I've been listening to that, and he comes at it from a different direction, and I think it's good. I told you I'm trying to practice my piano, and I am. The book never showed up. So I'm back using my daughter's old Alfred system, which, is designed for 7-year-olds. So I am learning the left hand and the right hand now. And according to Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you keep doing that, it's sort of like doing Dr. Boz's left-handed loops, or jumping rope, I think. It triggers little synapses in your brain, because you say, oh no, hit the G, hit the G, now E, now F. So anyway, that's what I'm working on now. And one other thing, Wilma probably probably tired of hearing this, but I discovered that at Walmart you can get a thing called PHO broth, which is pronounced by the Vietnamese as pho broth. And it's $4 for the box. And then I add a can of sardines to it. and I made fish soup out of my can of sardines. And I thought it would taste, if you're hungry, it tastes pretty good. It tastes pretty good. And it had very low carb. It only has like 2 carbs per serving. So there's like 4 carbs in the box. So anyway, that's what I wanted to mention.
I wonder what's in faux broth. I mean, is there soy or?
It's just there's a whole bunch. If you've never had Vietnamese faux soup, they put a whole bunch of things like lemongrass and ginger, and I don't know what else they put in there, onions, and then of course they strain all that out, and it's So if you don't like the taste of lemongrass or ginger, it's probably not the right thing for you.
Okay, before you click off, Patricia, let me ask a question. This Dr. Joe Dispenza, how do you spell his last name?
Dispenza.
Z-A. I put an S because I'll put it in the description below so people can look for it. And then the other thing is one of these groups that's going to be running the brains class, are they splitting the cost?
Well, I don't want to get too much into it because I saw on the Neurons Facebook group that there's some kind of disagreement. But Kim Powers on the Keto Mindset, she's talking about doing it on Saturday mornings. And because she wants people to have some skin in the game, she's going to ask them to pay $40 per person. And if they complete the course with only 1 absence, she'll send the $40 back. And then there's another friend that this is the Ketone Bodies group. They haven't settled on a time, but they want to do it too.
Yeah.
And I think theirs would be in an evening. And I don't think she's going to charge anything either. And
when we took it, we all split the cost, and it was $125 for each of us to take it. And we couldn't have afforded the $2,500 or $300 or whatever it is either. But one person was purchasing it, and then everyone who took it under them was paying an amount. So, and as far as I understood, Dr. Boz was fine with that. And
well, I don't want to really get into the politics of it. I don't really understand. I'm not going to even try, but a third person was starting it up, and she was going to charge $100 per person. And she was sent a very harsh message by somebody in Dr. Boz's office saying, "Oh, we're not allowing anyone to run these courses anymore."
Oh, well,
so I don't know what the story, maybe it's just because Dr. Boz is running her course right now herself, and they don't want interference with other people. Maybe it's just a temporary thing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stay out of that.
Okay, just stay out of it. Yeah, because I mean, I personally don't know a lot of people who can afford a class that's $2,300. And you're talking to a woman who spent thousands of dollars doing trainings. But usually the most expensive training I've ever attended was $1,500. And that was a 5-day class, in person in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Here's what I would do. If this is the problem I see with that. So I think, I'm not saying Kim Howland is doing this, but I remember I was in her group a while ago, and I think she did the brains course before. So let's say she buys it for $2,500, and she had everybody pay $100, got 25 people, and did the course. And then a year later, she does it again. She has everybody charges everybody $100, gives them the course, and she does it the next year. And now she's making money on selling her access to the course. And I'm not saying that she did that, but I can see that that's a problem. Dr. Boz says it's okay give out your password and share the information. But now somebody could, in theory, be making money off of this by doing this every year with the people in the group that want to do it. And I mean, that would not be the.
Actually, they could do it every 3 months,
Where they could give access to the course for somebody for $100 every time they asked, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just saying that this is the problem. And maybe I'm not saying Kim is doing this because I have no idea, but she said if she's going to charge $40 and give it back to you, then maybe she's already made her money off the course and she's just wanting and can do that, because if she paid $2,500 today, she wouldn't want to be giving money back to everybody if they finished it. So I'm just thinking out loud of different sneaky people, what they would do if they so chose.
Yeah. And, I thought Dr. Boz was being very magnanimous, when we took it a year ago, to allow other people to take her seminar and charge some small fee and split it that way. But maybe she's changed her mind, and I don't want to get into the politics.
Right.
It is her property. It's her intellectual property, and she may do with it as she pleases. Now, Wilma has her hand up. Maybe she has some insider info we don't know.
Well, Tammy from Ohio, she runs courses all the time for 125 and goes through that. And Mark and Jennifer from Florida, they've run courses for, I don't know how much they charge. So people are running the course and charging. Where Kim had problems when we went through the course, some people showed up for a week or two and never came back. So that's why she's wanting to put some money in it and say, hey, you can be here, but you may not get your money back. Because I know the group I was in, we started out with 5, and within 3 weeks, we were down to 2 people. The others just dropped out and didn't come back.
But did they get the password and the login to go in and listen to the videos and do the course on their own?
That I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Elizabeth, do you have a password and a login to go and watch those videos whenever you want to, since you paid the money?
I do now, but the Sonia was the person who ran it when we took it, and she did not give the password until the very end, and you had to have attended most of the nights. And we had attended all of the nights, so we got the password.
Yeah, and so what's to stop you from sharing that password with anybody you want, and we just do the course on our own without, attending a meeting every week? I mean, there's nothing to stop you from sharing that password because it's yours and you bought it and you paid for it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying there's nothing to stop. I'm not saying you would do it, but I'm just saying there's nothing to stop you from doing it.
Yeah. The thing is the Keto Continuum class, Dr. Boz says over and over, share this with family. It's okay. You can give your password and everything. That one I have. I mean, I gave it to Renee, and Renee went through the class, and I might have given it to Melody. I can't remember. And I know Scott took it and I took it, and I must have given it to at least 2 other people. But I felt okay doing that because I was given permission. Now with the brains class, I don't believe I've given it out to anybody because I don't feel comfortable. Nobody has officially given me permission.
But she said it was fine for people to get into groups and to buy the course and to share it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I remember.
And she's always said that. I mean, at the beginning, I haven't been in the group for a while. I mean, we read the emails and stuff or listened to her videos all that much, but she has always been into the sharing the information stuff. And well, at least for the Keto Continuum course. And she was fine with the groups doing it for the brains course. So
yeah, maybe it's something new.
Sure why there's
the bottom line is, if it's valuable to you, if it costs $2,050 of $2,500, it might be valuable to you, especially if if you have a family member or something that you're really worried about and you really need some deeper advice. I'm just saying, I think Dr. Dispenza also had some valuable stuff too. And Also, I'm just afraid that some of the stuff from Dr. Boz is already been revealed by herself through the other videos. So,
I agree. If you probably watched all the videos, probably a lot of that information, she says a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and you listen to it and you'll be like, I've already heard all this, you know?
Yeah, there was a number of things in the brains class that either I had already watched a video that they attached to that week's class, or I had heard her talk on that particular topic. But for me, for $125, it was worth the time to go through it and be able to talk to other people taking the class. And also she showed other scans and stuff of people's brains. That was valuable to me. You know, so yeah. But whatever. Like I said, it is Dr. Boz's intellectual material, and whatever she wishes to do with it, this is her right, and people shouldn't get butt hurt about it or all upset and mad. And, you know, she's been more than giving to all of us. And so anyway, okay, well, we have a couple of people that we've not seen before, I believe. One calls themselves iPad Pro. Would you like to introduce yourself to the group? Just tell us your name and where you are and how long you've been doing keto, just so we can get to know you.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm kind of new to Zoom, and I'm very new to Dr. Boz's program.
Well, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. And actually, I just am 1 week into Keto Continuum,
Okay.
so I'm really very new, and I've never really done low carb. I've never done keto because I've always thought it was just way too confusing. But I saw a video of Dr. Boz's, and then I binged watched her as much as I could. And so I am just in the very learning stage.
Well, very good of you, Joni, to come into our group, and we want to welcome you here. You're welcome anytime. We're here every Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock. And I'm Elizabeth, and my husband Scott and I are in charge of this group. And we're a very informal group, but we want to be supportive to everyone in the community. And just a quick background, I started keto with Dr. Boz. Well, it will be 2 years this November. So it's been about 1.5 years, and I've lost 100 pounds and cleaned up my liver enzymes and my kidney values and my blood sugar. And so it's been very valuable to me. And my husband is a tall beanpole skinny dude. And he does not need to lose weight, and he didn't have high blood sugars or kidney problems or liver problems or anything. But it has helped with his brain fog and his bad breath, his chronic bad breath, and gas problems, and you know, other things. And he can talk for himself.
I think memory, right? I keep forgetting.
Yes, memory. And
yeah, the running joke. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the running joke.
I'll be here all
memory.
week.
Yeah. And we also have taken our 28-year-old autistic daughter keto, and it has helped with some of her behaviors, notably her sleep and bedwetting. And also she has been able to lose about 25-30 pounds, which she needed to. And her acne.
Yeah, her acne cleared up. It was like magic, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, you know, we're pretty happy with keto, and I feel very blessed to have run into Dr. Boz and her books and her teachings and her class, and we're keto for life. And so, and then we decided to start this because we're not perfect and we need support too. And we love to have whoever comes, you know, share with us. So, um, Joni, if you can think of any questions, I'll ask for questions at the end here again, and then you can pipe up and we'll see if we can help you with anything. Then we have Surfy. I'm sorry if I say it wrong. Surfy's iPhone. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Surfy? How long you've been keto and everything?
Hi, I think you're talking about me. I think it should show up as Surf Pup, but I'm actually Connie.
Okay.
Was it me that you were talking about? I think.
Well, it says Surf P you know, hyphen S.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't
That's
show the
okay.
whole thing. It's all right. It's
Yeah.
my son's logged in. That's why it
Okay.
comes up.
Okay.
But I've been I'm Connie, and I'm 52, and I've always struggled with my weight. Well, I shouldn't say always. Since I had my first child, you know, I've struggled, you know,
Mhm.
always done several diets on and off, and it's just gotten you know, harder and harder as I've gotten older. And then now I've got like high blood pressure, and worried about I think I'm pre-diabetic. My doctor isn't concerned about my sugar, but I can't get my sugar under 100, so that concerns me. But I did keto a couple years ago, and I did really well with it. I lost like 30 pounds. I didn't get to my goal weight, but I, you know, lost 30 pounds and felt really good and was really happy with it. And I wasn't doing nothing as strict as I am now. Like it was like lazy keto, you know.
Mhm.
And then when COVID happened, I just totally threw me off. I had to, you know, work from home, and I just, for some reason, just could not stick with it. I would, you know, just constantly, just occasionally have carbs here and there, but I think it really screwed my system up, because, you know, if you're not sticking with it like you're supposed to. So I put that weight on, and I've been, since January, I've been trying really, really hard to get back into it. And I've been struggling with getting my numbers where they are. And so I ended up, I think it was about February, a couple months ago, I've been watching Dr. Boz for a while, and I just decided to go ahead and do the course that it helped motivate me and maybe learn some new things. So I've gone through that, and I'm on, actually, I think 7 is what step I'm on right now. This week I've just started. For the longest time I had been just the 2 meals a day. No problem with that, you know, and then, but my problem was occasionally having carbs, which I think just would screw me up. But I am this week determined to do a whole week of OMAD, where I'm doing 1 meal a day. And so far I've done well this week. And I've also, I'm experimenting this week, and I'm having a can of sardines before I have my dinner. It's kind of like my appetizers. As I'm cooking dinner, I'm eating a can of sardines, and I'm trying that as well to see if that'll help with my numbers. So I'm hoping like next week that maybe I'll see them come up, you know, the sugar go down and the ketones go up. And I'm just trying to, you know, stick with it, and so I can get some results.
It does take a while to get those ketones to come up if you have a liver that's been holding on to sugars. And, you know, this all depends on your insulin resistance, which a lot of people have without being diabetic. I know I
Right.
was very insulin resistant, and it took quite a while to empty out my liver. So, Patricia, go ahead. Were you going to say something? Oh, you reached your hand over like you were going to turn your mic on. So, okay, well, Does anyone have any other good ideas for Connie about getting her numbers up other than what she said? Anybody? I know with me, my ketones weren't coming up because I didn't eat a lot of enough fat, because I can't eat olive oil and I can't eat avocado, and I can't eat hamburger. I'm pretty much stuck with just bacon and like pork chops and things. It's the only meat I can have besides fish. And I wasn't wanting to eat sardines, but I eat them now. and everything. And I can't eat milk products. I have problems with that, so I wasn't getting any fat. But then I started actually eating the Braunschweiger. Is that how
Oh,
you
I've,
say it?
I've never tried that.
Braunschweiger.
Oh, Braunschweiger.
I've heard
Okay.
people mention it, but I've never,
Yeah.
where do you get that from?
My local grocery store. I saw Dr. Boz pick up a package and show it to people, and I'm like, oh, that's how you spell what she's talking about. And then she was talking about where to find it in your store, and I went to our little, I live in a very small town, and I went to our store, and wouldn't you know, they have it there. But the kind they have there has corn syrup in it, or fructose or whatever. But I ate it, and it took me like a month. It sat in the fridge unopened for like a month before I could work up the nerve to be able to cut it and cook it and eat it. But hey, it wasn't bad.
I'll
I,
look for it. I'll, anybody has any good tips, I'll try them, because I'm just so trying to get my numbers where they need to be.
yeah, the Braunschweiger was what finally did it for me to bring my ketones up. I haven't had any recently because I seem to be reacting to the corn syrup in it, and I don't actually like reacting. So I haven't been eating it lately. Does anyone know a source of the Braunschweiger without the sugar in it? No.
I just get liverwurst from Aldi's, and I don't pay too much attention to the amount of corn syrup in it. I know I shouldn't have it, but there's so much of the what is it, vitamin D in liver, that it's absolutely the best source.
Yeah.
And like I was listening to one lady this week, she takes chicken livers and she makes a pate, and she does that at least once a week, and she just absolutely loves her chicken pate.
I haven't tried that.
But because it's such a high vitamin D source, besides sunlight, it's just, you can't beat it. Now, I heard of one other lady, she cuts up her liver in little dime-sized pieces, freezes it, and then she'll sort of take one in the morning like a tablet, like a pill.
Oh, she just like swallows it.
Swallows it down, chug-a-lugs with water real fast.
Okay. Well, that probably would work, but ew. I mean, great. Yeah, I have never ever been a fan of any kind of organ meat ever. I mean, I was raised the first 24 years of my life as a vegetarian. So the thought of organ meat is like disgusting. And so for me to actually eat the liver was quite a feat, and so I thought I was doing well, but like I said, I started feeling like I was reacting to the corn syrup in it. And I've searched for something without it, but maybe it would taste really nasty without the corn syrup, huh? I have to find out if we have an Aldi here in North Dakota, and see if I could get their liverwurst and see what it's like. Anyway,
We've got one in Fargo, but you know, that's quite a
Oh.
distance away.
That's-
Check into the liver pate recipes, you know, that's
okay.
it's pretty easy. It's just
Okay.
onions, and I don't know if you can have onions. Can you have onions? But
No.
it, maybe you could find a recipe to chicken pate, and you know, you chop it up. You have a food processor, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can make your little mayonnaise, whatever mayonnaise you like,
Hmm.
and a little salt and pepper. Just try it out.
Yeah, I once at a restaurant, I went to this restaurant with a buffet, and they had liver and onions on the buffet. And I'm like, I should try that. They say it's good for you. And I went over there and it was, I mean, it smelled like cat food, you know, canned cat food. I'm like, oh, okay, I can't do that. But that's one reason it took me so long to get into the Braunschweiger. Hello, Maria.
I
This seems to
I
be
just
your
love
first time.
liver. So
Oh, do you? Oh.
what I get, it's not all the time, is the young calf, like a veal liver.
Mhm.
It's butter in your mouth, and it doesn't have that strong iron taste or whatever or smell. It just, and if you just literally nice thin steak of liver, saute it, like just hit the pan really hot, turn it over. To me, it's sweet and it's delicious.
Hey.
It's just salt, and but the other livers, like the beef livers, the chicken livers, I do make a pate, and I do saute a lot onions with it. But you could cook them without onions.
Mhm.
And then there's the pate that I make is Jack Papan. Is that how you say his name? Liver pate. But the one thing that he does add to it is cognac, which is a little bit, but it just adds a little texture to it. When I make a lot of it, I put in little jars, put it in the freezer. And I didn't know what you guys were going to talk about tonight. I'm new to this. So I'm like, oh, I got pate in the freezer. So, but I think you need to experiment with different types of livers. Like,
The problem is I'm allergic to like chicken and beef. I have to use pork liver.
Okay. I don't know if that's, can you find it?
I don't know. Scott is our local grocery person for the family. Can we get a regular old pork liver? I mean,
I don't know.
we'll have to find out. And
Yeah, I think I looked into that once, but I forget whether we can get that or not.
okay, we'll have to see. The calf liver sounded interesting, that it was like butter and you didn't have to cook it very much and just salt. But then I remembered, oh shoot,
beef.
I can't have beef. Sucks to be me.
Sorry.
So Maria, you say you're new to this? How new are you to keto? And
well, I did certain different versions of keto. I started first time, well, I guess I should count Atkins. I did in the 70s. But I started in 2018, so it's 4 years now. Pretty restrictive, lost some weight, then had major surgery and was not able to get back to, seems like once you do a sort of diet, you can't get back to it. And I tried YouTube rabbit hole of keto knowledge, and so tried different things. And I know I last year I tried intermittent fasting and lost 10 pounds a whole year. And then I go on vacation and it's back. You know?
Oh,
So I was frustrated and I've tried to do different things. So I just signed up with Dr. Boz. I'm on day 6. I just finished reading her book, Any Way You Can. And I did purchase the course. And I also purchased the books, the Continuum, just because I need something to hold and look through and take notes. And so I'm hoping I'm doing well. I think I like fat. So it's easy to eat it in a sense. I discovered sour cream today. I'm like,
oh.
it's always been one of those things not to buy it because it's a big no-no. And I'm like, I could handle this. I like it. So, but that's where I'm at. And I was flipping through Facebook and I saw the notification. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know. So here I
Yep.
am.
We're here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. and you're
Oh,
welcome every
cool.
weI And the link
Excellent.
is the same until I did 20 weeks. So I think sometime in September, I may have to change the link.
Okay.
Um,
So where are you?
um,
Because I'm in Massachusetts, so
Scott
I
and
would be 8 p.m. Okay.
yes, 8 p.m. Scott and I
Okay.
live in Central Time Zone. We're in the very northern central part of North Dakota. We're right on the Canadian border.
Oh, wow.
And then
I'm cold already thinking about it.
well, yeah, we're going to be in the 90s on the weekend, so
Oh,
we're not
wow.
always freezing. But
Wow.
we are not nearly as hot as like Arizona or Texas or Mississippi,
Mm.
and
It's
Louisiana.
supposed to be 102 next week, plus heat, plus humidity. So it's probably going to feel like 112, 115.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's what's
Tammy's
coming up.
from Louisiana, right?
Mississippi.
Oh,
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Yeah. Yeah, I can't take the heat. And then Renee is in Oklahoma. She's another hot state person. And Patricia's in North
I'm just a
Carolina.
hot mama.
Yay.
Yeah.
We all are.
Yeah, Patricia's in North Carolina. And Wilma, are you Alabama? I can't remember.
Nebraska.
Nebraska. Okay, Nebraska. So not too hot in Nebraska, but it gets warm. And so we're from all over, and people come in and out of the group. We have a core number of people that come to the group most weeks. But we have new people coming in each week as well, and anybody and everybody's welcome. And whatever questions you have or frustrations or irritations you want to talk about, you're welcome to talk about them. Anything from Melody? Did you figure out your audio, Melody?
I guess not.
Yeah, not really,
No.
she says.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All right. And Renee, how is Renee this week?
I'm here.
I'm here. Okay. Well, it's better to be here than nowhere.
Exactly. Or the alternative, my husband says.
Yes. Yeah. And so does anyone have any questions? Anybody have any ideas for Connie or Joni or Marie, as they're Joni and Marie are just starting out here on keto with Dr. Boz.
I'm sorry, I gotta say this. Every time you say Joni and Marie, I keep hearing Donnie and Marie.
Oh,
Of course, why not?
I'm so sorry, but every time
That's
you
okay.
said
I
that,
love them. In
like
my
my
days,
ears.
I love them. So I'm fine with
well,
that.
Donnie and Marie, favor us with a song, please.
The
All
one
right.
thing I wanted
Bye-bye.
to remind everyone, especially for people that are just starting out, And I'm really glad to hear that you're doing the KC course. Your why is so important
Yes.
because after a few months, it gets sort of boring, gets difficult, you have a difficult situation. And you have to have that why, because you really need, it's like a crutch that you need to fall back on every once in a while. So
Mhm.
I want to reiterate that.
And Patricia, you were reading my mind, because if no one had any questions, I was going to say, really in the Keto Continuum Workbook, they have a whole section on the why and really
Right,
getting a
yeah.
good why. And some people skip over that. And no, you really should go through, the whole why. Why am I doing this? Why am I torturing myself with trying to find pig liver, and
Yeah.
why am I thinking about making a fish soup when I've never had fish soup before? And why do I eat sardines? and everything. Because if you have a good why, and then you get the knowledge you need from videos and classes and books and everything, and you can keep yourself going,
Right.
because
Yeah.
I'm not I had COVID in October last year, and I really stopped losing weight, and I really haven't lost any weight since October. I've been stuck, and talking with a number of other people, they've said that COVID sometimes will cause more cravings, and will cause metabolism issues, to where you're not going to lose weight. And so I'm trying to break out of that post-COVID. I'm stuck not losing
Wow.
weight. And some of it has been craving and cheating, and other of it has been I've been too tired to like go walking with the dog, or something. But yeah, but if I didn't have the whys that I have, I'd give up. I'd be like, I want to
Right.
eat pizza, and pancakes. What's wrong with pizza and pancakes? They're perfectly fine. Well, no, not for my body. They're not fine,
Yeah.
because I'd regained that 100 pounds and nothing flat. But I am proud of myself. I went on a vacation in May, and I did not gain weight. And we were doing so much exercise, I actually lost, was it 10 pounds or 7 pounds? I can't remember, but it was somewhere between 7 and 10 pounds. I lost weight on vacation. Now, how many people do that?
That's
I,
wonderful.
yeah, I stayed away. We had a cabin, and we were able to cook all our own meals and stuff. I think we only ate out twice. And so, yeah, anyway. Anybody
So
else?
I
Sure.
just, before I forget, because
Mhm.
that's happens.
Yeah.
You mentioned you're thinking of making a fish soup,
Oh, yes. Before you
or
arrived,
like
Patricia,
bone broth kind of fish soup.
you
Yeah, I
tell
was
me.
telling them that at Walmart, you can get a thing called PHO broth, which is pronounced pho broth. It's Vietnamese.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has like lemongrass and
Yep.
ginger flavor, different things.
Yeah.
And
I
you
make
can
it.
you
Yeah.
can take that, and then I added a can of sardines to that, and I made a fish soup out of it. Now, you got to be hungry. It's not like a full, gourmet meal or anything like that. But if you're hungry and and you got the sardines and you've got the soup, it only takes 2 minutes. So,
Because I was gonna see, I cook, and so in the last 4 years, I've adapted a lot of, and I've been making bone broth for forever. If you want to make your own broth with fish, make sure you get the heads. because all that collagen that thickens up the soup is in the heads. So occasionally I'm able to get a big head of big fish. We live where we live, we can get big fish.
Yeah,
So and your local store where you may get the fish, if you ask, they will save you the head. So keep that in mind if you want to go the scratch route. And the faux, when I make my regular broth, bone broth, I just, what you need is the lemongrass. So you could get, if you could get lemongrass, I can. And star anise, if you just throw one in, the lemongrass, ginger, and you'll get that oriental tasting to the bone broth. So I do that a lot. I experiment with stuff that I like already and make them. But
I just want to mention, I love faux soup. And one time I went into a restaurant, I said, can you give me some without any MSG? They said, no. We make this early this morning and we always put MSG.
Yeah.
So this is a way to do the faux soup without the, or the faux soup without the MSG.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, the stuff from Walmart doesn't have any MSG. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. So you live in Massachusetts, Maria, right?
Yeah.
So you have coastline and stuff. Patricia, are you near the coast in North Carolina? I forget. No, you're inland. Okay. Yeah, because we're landlocked here in North Dakota. I mean, we couldn't be any more landlocked, you know.
Right, yeah.
But we do have lakes and there are lake fish here.
Right, yeah.
I suppose you can use any kind of fish to make
Oh,
a
yeah.
fish broth. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've never
But
even thought of it.
But you do need the scales. You need the bones. So
Yeah.
if you could probably find even frozen like trout, like it's the whole fish versus, but if it has the head and you can cook the fish and like you would if you did any kind of bone broth where you take the bones, you put the bones in the head and you could save them until you have enough to make the soup. And then once it's done, you drain it like through cheesecloth or something. And but yeah, you could use any kind of fish. But if making the bone broth is too much, I'll get you a recipe that's very simple for you to. Well, but it's lean though. You would have to add some fat to it, where you literally, but you don't do onions. Bye-bye. I'm leaving.
Yeah, it's sad. I don't do onions. There are a lot of things I can't have, but it's okay. You know, it's it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, well, if nobody else has anything to share or wants to talk about or whatever, it's 8:00 Central. So I'm going to go ahead and close this unless Tammy or Renee or.
So a question. So this is every Wednesday night, 7:00 your time.
Central.
So it's 8:00 my time for an hour.
Yes, about an hour.
Okay.
Sometimes we go to 8:15. And then if you ever miss a week, you can go to YouTube and just type in Keto Confab and our past meetings will come up because I do post them on my YouTube channel. And because there are people who can't come on Wednesday night, they're going to prayer meeting or whatever, and they pick it up later. And just type in Keto Confab and they'll come up.
Okay.
And I usually will post the replay on Dr. Boz's page and the Keto Confab page as well, so that people can find them.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad I found you.
Yeah, well, welcome to you and Joni and Connie, and appreciate you all coming. And you can save up your questions for next week, and
Yeah.
we'll talk to you then. I'm going to stop the recording now.